Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to the second part of this morning's daily agenda. Now, on 14th November 2007, Ghana's president at the time, John Agyekum Kufuor, was involved in an accident on his way to the castle at the time, which was the seat of government. Now, when this happened, one person was immediately informed, and she gathered her team to attend to Ghana's Ghana's former president. She is the first female physician of president in this country, and she is my guest today. Today we'll be talking about that incident and what she's currently doing to encourage young girls to achieve greater heights. Dr. Bettina Ama Buohene Anda is my guest. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, I mentioned earlier that incident on that fateful day, infamous as it was. What did you do when you were informed that ex-President Kufuor had been involved in an accident?
Well, I had structures in place, so we have a protocol, because these things are, whether you're in the presidency or you're in regular life, these things are things that are bound to happen. So we have a protocol to follow in the event that there's a road traffic accident or any other incident, and therefore the protocols just, went on smoothly, and as everybody is fully aware, he came out of it unscathed. So
I'm assuming that the whole of the castle was probably locked down, security everywhere, everybody trying to do what they ought to do to ensure that the president is safe. And how did you manage to remain calm in all of the chaos?
As the leader of the team, you have to be calm. And by our training as physicians and medical officers, it is a key thing. If you are the leader of the team and you are going to panic, you can imagine that everybody else around you will be panicking. So as much as you're human, you have to let your professional competence be evident, and that's precisely what I did. With regards to the security issues, I'm not a security person, although I worked very deeply with security people. So they did their work and I did mine. And pretty much, I think things worked out.
President Kufuor has been out of office since 2008. What have you been doing since?
I set up a practice, a family practice. In Ghana, we call it a general practice. So I have a clinic that I run, and I'm a nutritionist by training as well. So in that clinic, we run a nutrition center as well. And I have a small laboratory, and I also have some diagnostics. So that's what I've been doing. Recently, I've been trying to give back to society, because in my view, you cannot rise to this level and keep all the experience and the things you have learned to yourself. I believe that it behoves on us when we get to this level, and even if we don't, whatever we manage to do, we must give back. So I set up a foundation which is focusing on the youth, and I think that's what we're about to discuss. There's a project we're doing that we're about to discuss.
Yes, so let me in on that project. Fast forward 2015, you want to give back to society. How are you doing that? I know you've launched a book. We'll talk about that later on, but let's focus on the project that you're undertaking currently. How do you hope to give back to the young girls in our society?
Well, it is not every time that you get to be the first in something, and I think I was blessed. It was by no means of, or dint of hard work, or there are people who are much more hardworking than I am, but I was blessed to be chosen to serve in that capacity as the first female physician to a sitting head of state of this country. And therefore, once that stint was over, President Kufuor is still my patient, I'm still his doctor, but being the physician to a head of state, I thought I need to give back to these girls. All too often what we hear is that these girls have role models and mentors on television, they have them abroad, and if we're going to mentor them, normally it is in the regular professions like medicine, law, finance, and I think it is totally unfair because not everybody wants to go into that field, or not everybody has the necessary or requisite skills to go into that field. They have so many talents and so much skill. But then because we focus in the past, we focus too much on corporates and all the traditional professions, it has made it difficult. The other reason I chose to do this project, which is young women mentoring young girls, is that I believe strongly that our successes are obvious. If you're a bank manager or you are a CEO of a company as a woman, it is obvious that you've been successful. But what are the challenges? What have we been through? How victimized were we in school? Some people were always told that they were dumb, they'll never make it. Some people said you are too black. I mean, I had it in boarding school where people said, you're going to lighten your skin a bit, you're too black. I said, you know, if I didn't have the confidence, that will shatter me. And then also some people just don't have the confidence it takes to achieve what they should. So I think that as female professionals, as females in media, because my choice of mentors is very vast. I have people who are beauticians, I have people who are entrepreneurs, I have people who are into the dressmaking industry, I have lawyers, I have doctors, I have, you know, so it just gives it that broader picture so that the girls know that I don't have to be stuck to one particular profession. And these are people I can culturally relate to. Okay. If I say I'm going to somebody is my mentor and the person lives in the United States of America, it's not a bad thing. Pick up the good things of that person. But what are the cultural similarities? What are the social similarities? Okay. So I think that we are going around these secondary schools just to mentor these girls and tell them the challenges we've been through to get to where we are today. How
many secondary schools in all are you looking at?
Well, it is 10 secondary schools per region. This is a nationwide tour, and we're going to all the 10 regions of Ghana. And it is 20 girls chosen from 10 secondary schools for this particular, it's an annual event. We're going to be doing it yearly. And so it's 200 girls per region, which ends up being 2,000 girls countrywide. And I think by then, we are hoping these girls will also propagate the information to their friends and their colleagues, and whatever they learned, they will share with their colleagues.
What format is it going to take? Are you going to mount platforms? Are you going to PowerPoint presentations? What form is it going to take?
Well, we are not going to mount all those platforms. And what has happened is I must hasten to add that the Ghana Education Service, the Girls Education Unit, has been fantastic. And we are collaborating with them because you can imagine we don't have we cannot go to every region and just go into the region and start looking for schools. They have the database and they have the capability. So they have chosen schools which span, you know, they are across board. They didn't choose any particular high-level schools or the ones low down, or it's just across board, good spread. And they've chosen a venue. So when we go there, I think the girls are tired of PowerPoint. I've sat in a few of those things and I see the girls falling asleep. I mean, every mentor has 20 minutes to have a heart-to-heart chat. If I'm telling you about the story of my life and how I was victimized in secondary school, how I was made to feel that I wasn't good enough, you can identify with something that I would say. And if I come and tell you that you should be on high morals ground and you should study hard, they've heard that time and time again. It is other people's place to do that. But we are going in there to just tell them that, look here, yes, we went through this. Yes, it was tough. So it's basically a heart-to-heart chat. They are going to be talking, we are going to be talking, so that hopefully something will sink in and they won't leave totally empty. They'll leave with something.
Where is the next venue for this project?
Well, we launched it on the 15th of last month, and our first venue is going to be the Labone Secondary School for Greater Accra. So we're going to meet those 200 girls there on Tuesday. That is when it starts, Tuesday the 6th of October.
And who are the mentors you'll be taking to Labone?
Well, at the moment, we have Miss Obobia Dakwopoku, who is the Deputy Executive Secretary for Ghana Free Zones Board. We have a lawyer, Lady Gifty Tete, who was the first female to be the head of, I think, Middle Temple in the United Kingdom, a very astute lawyer. And then we have Dr. Jemima Ajari. She's a lecturer in GIMPA. And then we have a lady who has a wealth of experience in NGOs. She's not Ghanaian, she's Senegalese, but she has a great story to tell. And then, of course, I must add that we have adolescent sexual health, where you have 200 girls. You must talk to them about their reproductive health. It's a big issue. Teenage pregnancy is so rife. And therefore, we have an adolescent sexual health specialist, Auntie Kate. She's going to talk to the girls. That's also going to be a very heart-to-heart chat. So it's going to be many women and very few men. Probably no men at all. No, not really. But we're just going to try and get into what the girls think, and we're going to tell them what we know.
All right. So after Labone, where will the train go from?
The train is going. It's simple. From Greater Accra, we're going to Volta, continuing. There's Volta on the 8th, and then we go to Eastern on the 9th, and then we break. Okay. And we come back to Accra, and then we go to Ashanti, go around the back to go to Central, and then Western. Okay. Then we break for a week and a half, 2 weeks. First week of November, we go to Brong Ahafo, and then continue to the 3 northern regions. Because you can imagine, physically it's very exhausting, so we need to make sure that we take breaks in between.
All right, thank you very much. We will also be following up on the mentorship program and see how the girls are receiving the impartation that you'll be making on them.
That will be wonderful. Let me just say very quickly that this is being done by people who love what they do. They're giving back to society. We need people to help us with regards to logistics. It doesn't have to be physical cash. It can be a car. It can be water. It can be food. It can be anything. Because we are all high achievers, yes, but we have our limitations with regards to how much we can sow into this project. And it's a very wide project, and it's almost self-financing. But if we have any people who would like to help, we're always available.
Well, thank you very much. So you've heard from Dr. Bettina Ama Buohene, and she is trying to give back to society by encouraging young girls to look up to them and achieve probably more than what they have been able to achieve. The train stops at Labone Senior High School on Tuesday. From there, it goes to the Volta region, and then on and on and on to every part of the country. It's a girls' mentorship program. Women mentoring young girls. And you heard from Doc. Thank you for joining us on Good Morning Ghana. We'll go for a short break at this point and continue with the program. Fema Ashka will be here.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.